We're pleased to welcome Peter Espig, President and CEO of Nicola Mining. Since we last spoke, Peter, Nicola Mining has redeveloped its mill and began production. Can you give our audience an update on that?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me here. Yeah, we've spent approximately close to $500,000 on upgrading the mill, making it more efficient. As of today, we have 3 different sources of gold mill feed on our site. We are continuing to transport material from one site, which is the Dome Metal Mountain mine by Gavin Mines, to our site. Last month, we produced approximately 700 ounces gold and 5,000 ounces silver. So the mill is, we're finally in a position right now where we're satisfied with where the mill is. We've increased the bottlenecks, increased efficiency. There were some things because the mill it's essentially, it was a brand new mill. And even though something is brand new, it doesn't make it perfect. So we had to make it as perfect as close to perfect as we could. Now, we're not there yet, but we're certainly at a place right now where it's running very efficiently.
Nicola has also announced some spectacular drill results on its Thule Copper Property, which included 1.11% copper over 85.92 meters. What are some next stages planned for the development of this property?
Yeah, those were great drill results, and I think that the numbers speak for themselves, but I think more importantly is for people to understand the significance of what those grades mean. This is the embayment zone, and we did 1 hole. And to only drill 1 hole and hit those results, you bring up the question: were they drilling along the vein, or along the mineralization, or are they drilling an old hole? And neither are true. We were very fortunate with 2 things. We had a very good geologist, Brian May, and we also had Dr. Paul Johnson, former principal geologist at Teck Resources, join our board. And what we've known, which they didn't know back in the 80s, is because we're adjacent to Highland Valley Copper, we knew that through their $60 million of drilling, that fault moved exactly 3 kilometers. Through Brian's work and Dr. Paul Johnson's work, we knew that the target zone was 3 kilometers away to the north. So that's where we drilled, and we did the 1 drill hole. Now, the significance of the drill hole is that it didn't go along the mineralization. It actually went through a corner. So that's very exciting, because what it tells us is that we know that there's a lot more of mineralization going further west, and it also tells us that we didn't go along it, that we went through the fault. So we're very excited about this, and we're looking at doing a follow-on drill program next year. Remember that the exploration upside on Thule Copper is part of a mine. We're a fully permitted mine under permit M68, and so the exploration is part of a mine permit already. So that expedites the entire potential cash flow of any project going forward. We also are almost equally excited about the Titan Queen, and we only did 1 hole on the embayment zone, but we did 2 holes in the Titan Queen. And what we found in the Titan Queen is at surface we have mineralization of over 1% copper. But more significant than having 1% copper at surface, and this is not chip sampling or anything, this is diamond core drilling. So in the drill core with the 1%, what was more important is that we realized through the type of rock that we have that we are very close to the porphyry zone. Remember that the historical Craigmount mine was a skarn, and the embayment zone where we drilled the 1.1% copper, that is also a skarn. The Titan Queen is a porphyry, and as we all know, porphyries drive skarns. So the skarn is an offshoot of the porphyry. As we speak right now, we are preparing a map. We're mapping the area, the region, and we're also going to do an IP survey this fall.
On October 3rd, 2016, Nicola reported an agreement with a subsidiary of Teck Resources. Please tell us more about this, as it sounds very promising for your shareholders.
Yeah, this has been something we've been discussing with Teck for 2 years now, and really what it is Highland Valley, our property is located adjacent to Highland Valley Copper. From our site to their mill is approximately 50 kilometers, 20 kilometers property to property. Their mill has a capacity of approximately 180,000 tons a day. And right now their throughput is 120, but next year that will decrease. On our side, we have a historic mine that had a cutoff grade of 0.7%. So we know that based on Teck Resources' annual report that they are milling approximately a grade of, they're mining, transporting and milling material that has a grade of approximately 0.2%. Well, because our historic cutoff grades were 0.7, it made it attractive from Highland Valley's perspective. It also made it attractive for us to sell. So it's a very simple agreement where we will commence now the exploration of the 80 to 90 million tons of waste rock that we have. And we know that there are going to be sections that are going to grade over 1%, but we also know there are going to be lower grade sections. And the way the agreement works is as they move material, we will receive 40 cents per ton.
And Peter, what else do your shareholders have to look forward to in the next 12 months?
The shareholders have a lot to look forward to. They have, sometimes people forget that, we are the old Hulder Silver, and we own a high-grade silver mine. And silver, it was always our plan that if silver were to go to $23 US, that we would reopen and mine level 1 stope 2. And so there is a lot of economic value in that level 1 stope 2 for us. And so that's something that we'll look at opening next year. We continue to work on gold projects. I think that as the market gets to know more about our mill, and I say this to everyone, that the smaller gold projects in British Columbia can be thought of as being airplanes. And we have a mill in the center of British Columbia that has the ability to mill gold from anywhere in British Columbia. So we're the airport, and the airplanes come in, bring us the gold, we refuel them, and they can go back and mine another day. So I think as a company, we have several projects that are company makers, so sometimes that confuses people. But I think as we move forward, they'll be rewarded for it.
Thank you for joining us, Peter.
Thanks.
Be sure to watch more CEO interviews on Small Cap Power. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, so keep up with us. I'm Rachel Lee for Small Cap Power.